Well, it was close, but I made it. Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be doing my September monthly wrap-up, and was doing the Wizardly readathon we had over in our Discord for this month, and I felt like, hey, this should be pretty easy. Max 8 books to submit, and I still came down pretty close to the end with getting these because it was just a busy month and I did not have a ton of reading time. But let's talk through this overall a pretty successful month for reads, and let's chat through what they were. So started off right away with the 6th Dungeon Crawler Carl book, In the Eye of the Bedlam Bride by Matt Denneman. I had pre-ordered it. The second pre-order was available on Audible for the audio of this because I've just really, really loved this series, and the audio is just fantastic. So I was super excited to get to this, and I did do a review on this because I wasn't feeling it at first. I was just like, and then by about the halfway point, all the way through the end, I was just like so sold and so excited. I cannot wait for the next one. So been loving this. This was another fantastic entry in that series, and I cannot wait for more. And then I did also on audio NPCs by Drew Hayes. This was the second thing by Drew Hayes that I have tried. Yes, Andrew, I'm still gonna try Superpowers at some point. But this one I enjoyed a lot more than Fred. It was, I feel like, just a little more up my alley, but is literally we're following characters who are NPCs in kind of a Dungeons and Dragons world and seeing how they see things uniquely as NPCs. It did a lot of character development in a pretty short amount of story and having several characters, which I liked, and it was just fun, but it also balanced the line between having some funny moments and having comedy, but also having like a good story that goes a bit deeper than I was expecting as well. So really enjoyed that one. We'll definitely continue that series at some point as well. It's just continuing to try some Drew Hayes. I know a lot of people who love Drew Hayes, so I was excited to find one that worked a little bit better for me. And then next up, one I had been so excited to get to for quite some time, which was Gloves of Eons by Andrew D. Meredith. This is the third book in the Collation saga. Now, I had an advanced copy of the ebook, as well as later down the line when I was about halfway through, I got an advanced copy of the audiobook. So I did a little bit of both. I love reading these books, but Andrew D. Meredith, the author, does the narration, and he is just a phenomenal narrator, so I made sure to sprinkle in some of the audio there as well. I was very excited for this. I did just recently do a review for this right after release, and it's so good, man. If you haven't checked out Collation, definitely check out my videos talking about the books because it's one that I love. It meshes with my taste really well. It just does so many great things, and this was a really, really strong entry, upping the stakes more, continuing to develop the characters, putting in some really cool elements, and setting up for what seems like is going to be a crazy next book. So I cannot wait. I'm so excited for this as well. And then we had dipping back into the well of Janny Wirtz, Sorcerer's Legacy, which is Janny Wirtz's debut. As I was reading and doing my review for it, which I also did a review for this that's out as well, that I'll link. I didn't really know, I couldn't remember if this was her debut or if Master of Whitestone was, but this was the debut, and I was so impressed with this because, when you go back, especially, I've read her magnum opus, Wars of Light and Shadow, up to what's out now, and I had also read her Cycle of Fire trilogy, which were pretty different in how they're written and the style and everything. And so going back to a debut can sometimes be like, oh, this is still good, but they definitely got so much better. And while this is so different, it is just, she like hit the ground running with writing, because this book it subverts so many expectations and tropes. It has such a complex political plot and a lot of character development of a great lead character in such a short amount of time, and also just does things that you would not expect. It gets a whole lot darker than I think anybody, myself included, was expecting in points as well. So really, really enjoyed that. Was very impressed. I cannot wait to continue reading her whole body of work, because yet to be disappointed at all with anything that I have read from Janny. The next up, I did The Hobbit, and I'm holding up this physical copy. I actually did this on audio because we were doing a Hobbit watch along over on Patricia Meredith's channel, which I'll link to one of those shows as well, which was a lot of fun, and kept talking about it. I kept being like, is this in the book or not, or how does this happen in the book? Because it's been a long time since I had read The Hobbit, and I got a while back the audios for The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings because I was really curious to hear Andy Serkis's narration, which is great. Man, that man goes all out with the songs and everything. I will be doing a review for this that's coming up as well, because I want to talk about the book, because it's a timeless classic in my opinion, and so it's going to be positive, but also talking about the book, how it does some things, and probably throw in some of what the movie did as well. Not like a full-on comparison video essay, but kind of joining that in to talk about it and my thoughts on both of those forms of the medium. And so, yeah, that was great. I really enjoyed it. I had been really, really slow, and I just had so much fun with that. And so even though I was still having a slow reading month, that helped. You can see there was a fair amount of audio because of the fact that I was really, really slow with reading this month, so I used that a fair amount. Then next up we had Renia by Carl Forshaw, and this one was definitely the disappointing one out of the month. I had a lot of problems with this, and it just really did not work for me. And I don't want to be somebody who's trashing a book in general, especially when it's a self-pub book. I do think I'm going to make a review video of this where I just kind of try to do an analysis of all of the things with this book that did not work for me, or that sort of thing. And so I'm going to try and do that as constructively as possible. But there are a lot of things that I want to talk about with this one, and also I still think that some people may enjoy the book a lot more than I do. I know some definitely have. And so talk about why that is, what part of its taste and what part of its things that I didn't like the way that it was done, or felt could have been done differently, and that sort of thing. So I'll probably be doing a review for that one coming soon as well. And then we have Tail Chaser's Song. I did this one on audio as well, and this was another that was not at all what I was expecting. It feels like it's supposed to be, and I know it wasn't, but it just felt to me like, hey, it's about cats. You look at the cover, I'm like, oh, this is probably for younger readers. It's really not. I mean, it's something that I think younger readers could absolutely read, but reading it as an adult book, because I think it really is, and was intended to be as well. It is a lot deeper than I was expecting. It's also darker at points than I was expecting as well. But it's a really strong story. And it does do some of the kind of the basic tropes, but there's so many different layers to the story as well that it goes in, and manages to fit in a great story and a good amount of character development, as well as some commentary and a lot of lore, because it's Tad Williams. I'll definitely be doing a review of this one as well, which will be coming soon, where I kind of talk more, because I have a lot more thoughts than I thought I would after reading Tail Chaser's Song. So I definitely want to talk about that. Also, and then we have Tribe of the Accord. This is a review copy. This is by Sean Michael Stone. And this is a prehistoric kind of YA fantasy. And I just recently finished this. This was my last one that I needed to finish for the month, my 8th book for the readathon. And I had a really good time with this. This is one, too, where I feel like I really should have finished this in a day, 2 tops, because it's very quick reading. But it took me a lot longer than that, just because, like I said, I didn't have a ton of reading time this month, so it was kind of slow going. But it was really cool seeing a prehistoric setting that's not something that I've seen a lot or read a lot of, and so it was cool to do that. And this is one of those ones where it's definitely, you can tell it's intended for younger audiences, and that is the point. It is intended for younger audiences, but I still got some enjoyment out of it, and it was just a nice quick read that did some things that I like as well, and I'll definitely be doing a review to talk about that one also. So yeah, you can see the divide here. The first half, I got reviews already done. The next half, they're going to be coming. So if you're interested in hearing more about any of those books, then definitely watch out, and the reviews will be coming soon. But that is all that I got through in the month of September. I'm filming this on the 30th, and I don't actually, well, that's not true. I have a beta read I'm doing right now that I can't talk about. But that's the only other thing that I'm doing right now. I haven't started another official book. Although I definitely will be very, very soon, because I have a lot more things that I want to read, so we'll see what I end up doing. I'm not going to do a TBR, because I have no idea what I'm going to read. I have a lot of review copies and just other stuff that I want to get to, so we'll kind of see where the month takes us with October. That's it for this one, though. Make sure to give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Check the link in the description, as always, for the Wizardly Enclave Discord if you want to chat books, whether any of these books, other books, really anything at all. It's a lot of fun, and we'd love to have you. And, of course, if you enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe.